una quitar loca me hecho las cartas as Malaga go putting 3 goals past here. Against Baleares, we score 3-0. Roberto once again, our goal-scoring hero. Like a lethal mix of Pacino and De Niro. 3 points in the bag and Baleares will see you. Because now, let us steer you as Malaga head off next to Melilla, across the Med to the Enclave, where Malaga's attack should continue to be brave. Because sometimes who dares wins and who wins dares. So let's get in the show with Matt Harrison and Chris Marquez. Good day, everyone. I am Matt Harrison, and you are listening to the Malaga fan podcast, the Geary Cast, on Sport Direct Radio and as part of the Sports Social Podcast Network. We're going as a trio tonight. I will introduce Chris Marquez first, since he did feature at the end of that wrap. So, Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. We have a very special guest tonight, don't we?
We do. Which
if you ask me, he is one of the 2 biggest journalist talents from the province of Malaga. And that's honest, because I think what he does is insane. He's now on the radio a lot, but he always also does the pre-match interviews at La Rosaleda for Sport Direct.
I know.
Yeah, you know.
Perfect for television.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about me for a moment.
Yeah.
When you said that 2 of the best journalists in the Malaga province. But you are talking about our special guest tonight, who is helping us out a lot as well, because we were short of numbers for tonight's podcast. We're delighted to be joined by Sabatel. Sabatel, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing very fine. A bit overwhelmed as Chris introduced as what he did said about me, but I'm very fine. Yeah, and well, I loved your rap.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, that was.
I would say I'm in the top 2 rappers in the Malaga.
Yeah, in the province of Malaga. I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the name of the guy I met in Thu to Chris? Do you remember? Because I met a rapper.
I don't know, the one that made the song.
Yeah, I met him. He didn't really know that who he was speaking to, but
I only know Gordo Master from Malaga as a rapper.
Gordo Master is an absolute legend.
Yeah.
And Little Pepper, but he sings reggae. He's not a real.
Yeah.
I can't do reggae. Anyway, just for like those that don't know Sabatel, I know Chris has sort of given some idea of what you do for Sport Direct Radio and like other bits and bobs. People might have seen you outside La Rosaleda pre-match, or they might have seen you walking around the pitch with your high-vis jacket on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Well, I'm as you said in Sport Direct Radio. I used to say Sport Direct. Well, in an English podcast, is well said Sports Direct. So it's Sport Direct. I'm always at La Rosaleda's pre-match, like interviewing people. Also, Matt. I think that it's one of the most common faces in the interviews. Yeah. But well, I'm not only at the pre-match because I am also at the match in the field ground, like and after the match in the interviews to be there and etc. I also broadcast Unicaja's matches also in Sports Direct, and we do a program in PTV in a Malagueña television that we talk about Malaga, Unicaja as well. And now TikTok, it's like a slice of what I do. So I like to
TikTok.
No, I'm not going to dedicate a lot of time in TikTok, but it's like doing blogs of the matches. You know, if we travel to Castellón, we travel to Ceuta, we travel to that. I wrapped it and I post in TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, and I always see
Charlie.
I was going to say I always see you around the ground with Bad Charlie, so you don't want to have Bad Charlie's TikTok audience.
Yeah, no, but Charlie is a nice friend, and he's also the next to me in La Rosaleda, and we there's the video in Ibiza that we are celebrating as 2 crazy men the 8 times goal. So we are meeting a lot lastly.
Yeah, if you have to choose. If you have to choose do the same at Unicaja every week, or do it at Malaga Club de Football? What would you choose?
So, but you're talking in the different roles. So on relating and doing
like everything you do in La Rosaleda,
yeah,
you do in Unicaja.
it's
Stand next to pitch.
That's a hard question. That's
yeah, no, it's a bit hard because Unicaja is like I'm explaining what happens in the match, what Kiko Garcia does in La Rosaleda, and in La Rosaleda I'm like the wireless, no, like the contact on field, but I think that this is new. So the La Rosaleda thing is more new. I've been doing the Unicaja thing for a lot of years, so this is new. I've got the special taste, so now I would keep there. But obviously in Unicaja, I've lived my best moments of my short journalism career in Copa del Rey, in Final Four of Basketball Champions League. So it's a bit harsh to.
I have to say, there was last year. There was one person in the whole province of I can say in whole the world, who believed that Unicaja was going to win the cup. And he said, I'll tell his words. He sent a picture from the airport.
Yeah.
He said, next time I'll come back, it's with the cup in my hands.
That's true. And the Kiko Garcia's answer was, you're crazy, man. So it's because Unicaja played against Barcelona. After if Unicaja won Barcelona, that was an heroical tribute. They have to face Real Madrid. So no team in history has defeated Barcelona and Madrid in the same cup, and Unicaja did it last year in Badalona. So yeah, I say it like, well, it's my first time. I'd like to do it, and after match and after match and after match, I was right.
Yeah, we did talk a little last week about the 12 o'clock kickoffs coming up for Malaga over the next few months, and I think I said I've only been to one Unicaja game, and I loved it. So definitely go and watch a basketball game combined with Malaga if you can. If you've never been, like I went the first time. I loved it. I really need to go back. But Chris is towards a basketball podcast here. We are not that. We are very much Malaga.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I think actually. Last season, didn't I suggest at one point I might just give up and go basketball?
No, but you know, and now Malaga and Unicaja, both teams, are like helping each other very much. And these matches of Malaga that are at 12 at midday, it's because Unicaja plays in the afternoon. So it is combined to assist both games. And in my opinion, I love La Rosaleda, but the atmosphere of Carpena is something different. So it's like it's magical. Yeah.
Well, Una Gitana Loca is.
There's no Gitana Loca. There's no Gitana Loca.
It's magical, but I have to say, when they sing the hymno of Unicaja, it's
and with the band, and
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And their hymno is, I think, the most beautiful hymno there is.
Maybe, I can buy it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us away from basketball. We keep going back. I'm gonna force my way through this time. Chris, last week, we in our news section we recorded it just before transfer deadline day. It was 24 hours before the window closed. We essentially spent 10 minutes saying this guy could turn up, this guy could turn up, this guy's probably not going to turn up. 24 hours later, we had two new signings. One was Carlos Buga and the other was Jesus Aviles. I think we mentioned both of those names on the podcast, but we weren't sure at the time. So any strong views on those signings or what Malaga did on deadline day?
I don't really understand the signing of Buga. That's one I don't really get. Aviles, I do get in a way, but I also think that he could have been the best option on the market.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's difficult, because well, we're coming later to that, but Loren's words. The good thing about Aviles is you can play him as a center forward and you can play him as a winger.
And actually, in his unveiling today, I think he said the exact same thing. He said, I'm happy to play winger, attacking midfielder, striker. Yeah, I don't know. I saw one video of him scoring a wonder goal for Leganés, I think it was. And I was like, oh, I'm excited. But yes, it's not a strong goal scoring record.
YouTube is a lie.
Yeah, but
I mean, let's be honest, YouTube is a lie.
Yeah, and that goal is against Osasuna in the first division. But I have to say that is, I think, his only goal in that season. So yeah, it's a wonderful goal. But I really disagree with Chris in the final market value, because I think Carlos Puga is a nice signing, because Joaquin Gabilondo is nice. Joaquin Gabilondo is absolute. Yeah, it's a banger. But you know that if he hits a call, Malaga doesn't have a right wing, a right back in the bench. So Bilal was an option that we never saw, and I think Carlos Puga it's nice to be the sub. But Javier Avilés, I think it's not the quite thing that Malaga needed at that point of the market, because as I said from Gabilondo, if Roberto I don't know gets also cut, he's not going to be the sub, because Javier Avilés is a winger. It's obviously firstly a left winger that likes to dribble, likes to not very combined. But I don't see him as a center forward as I see Roberto and as I see Diony.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like Aviles is obviously, they've said he can play up front, but he doesn't have this great goal scoring record. Until the end of the season now, it's just Roberto, isn't it? And like, we just pray for Roberto to stay injury free, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, was asked about that Avilés and Loren Juarros in the Avilés unveiling, and Loren said, yeah, he's not a player that has the goal scorer very potential, but Loren expects too. So he thinks that Avilés, with some minutes, like he was playing in the second division in La Liga High Promotion this first half of the year. He's like returning a bit to get more experience, to get more minutes, but I don't see him as the thing that Malaga needed to conclude the transfer market.
Yeah, well, obviously we saw some minutes from him on Sunday afternoon, so we can maybe discuss him a little bit more later. You just mentioned, Sabatel, that Loren did a press conference today as part of the unveiling of those two players. Chris, I don't know if you took anything interesting from it. I did notice he said things like there was a lot of questions about why Malaga didn't perhaps spend a little bit more in the transfer window, and he said he doesn't really want to gamble with our future, was the sort of gist of it. I don't know if you saw what he said.
I think it's difficult because the financial situation, I don't know enough about it, but I'm guessing that Malaga isn't really doing very well on financial level. And you don't have to put all your cards on the table to get promoted this season, I think. Although it is important to get promoted, but you don't have to put your future on the table for that. The other thing is that what we have seen with Manolo Gaspar last season, he would sign a lot of players that were offered and seemed like signings to have someone. So we can applaud him in Cayelarios, which he didn't want it, by the way. But a lot of those transfers didn't make real sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that way, I'm a bit happier because Loren Juarros waits till the last day and, let's say, investigates all the options. The thing that strikes me most probably in this transfer window and every transfer window for Malaga is that they only look on the Spanish transfer market or sign players who are Spanish.
Yeah, but Chris, in summer we signed Einar Galilea, that it's Spanish. He's from Basque Country, but he was playing, I think, in Croatia or
Yes.
over there.
Playing for Istra.
Yeah.
And they sign players from outside, but they're always Spanish.
Yeah.
So if you only sign players from Spain who are playing in Spain, or players who are Spanish but playing outside, you limit yourself a lot on the transfer market.
Yeah, but I think Chris is not like a characteristic, like a filter that Loren Juarros submit in the searcher, because Loren Juarros, I think it's searching for. Obviously, we are all thinking that he's searching for the best option, but I think there are some players, like imagine you are from Portugal, and you might do not want to come here. You know, there was a right back or a left back that was coming to Malaga in summer, Sampaio, I think he was called, or something like that. That he was staying here in Malaga, but an offer from the first division of Portugal came, and he went off. So I think Loren doesn't want a full Spaniard squad, but I think it's the best chances that he's finding in the market.
But if you look at the Dutch league, for example, there are a lot of players, or in the Belgium league, or in the second German league, who could be a great addition to this Malaga team. Look at who did Lyon sign? Was it Veldwijk?
Yeah, you knew him. I didn't really know who he was. You said he's a good player.
A very good striker. A very good striker. They have a lot of.
Who did you say?
Veldwijk.
Oh yeah, but I think there's also as you said before, and Loren commented this morning, the economic side. So Loren is not going to put on the line the tomorrow day just to improve the today. So he's not going to offer something that he can't afford in an immediate future. And I think that's because that's the reason that some Spaniards are playing here, because the status, the wage status is lower in Spain for players in second division of Spain than in the Championship or in the second Bundesliga or something like.
But now it comes, because yesterday Quique Perez said that he's investigating to start a talent pool or an academy in Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
That costs money.
Yeah, but that's an investment. That's a justified investment, I think. Yeah.
I think if you look throughout the whole province of Malaga, in all the smaller teams, like for example Atletico Benalmiel, Torremolinos,
lots of teams,
all those teams, there is a lot of football talent in Malaga, which is not. So why go to Morocco if you have so many big talents here in the Costa del Sol?
Yeah, and I think that the most clear example of that is Brian Zaragoza. That he played in some team from here, in Tiro Pichón, in Conejito, and he never played for Malaga. But that's not because Malaga doesn't look in local talent. You know, Juan de is from Cordoba. Juan de was a good centre back, but now he's in a weak moment. Roberto is from Puente Genil, from Cordoba also as well. So I think Malaga is studying the local talent, not as before with Manuel Casanova, who was the academy director of Malaga over 2015, 2014, with Los Fornal, Samu Castillejo, Samu Garcia. But nowadays, like Quique Perez wants to be the first one in Morocco, be the first one in Thailand. And from Morocco came Enesiri, came Hicham, came some players, Abdelkadir Akar, that never played for the first team of Malaga, but now is playing at Deportivo Alavés. So I think that Quique Perez wants to do that, but I agree with you that Malaga should make a bigger effort in here, because Brahim Diaz is from Malaga, Brian Zaragoza is from Malaga, and there are lots and lots of players.
But Brahim Diaz played for Malaga.
Yeah, but he played for Malaga. But Brian Diaz, it's an exception because Manchester City came, and if Manchester City comes, you can do anything. Okay, but Brian Zaragoza, you reject him because he's so small. I think that was the excuse. Granada sings him, and now it's at Bayern Munich. So I don't know.
Dean Huijsen grew up in Marbella.
Yeah, but Dinesian, he played for Malaga until Juventus came. So there are examples that you can do anything, but there are a lot of talent here.
Yeah, and and obviously we're all still recovering from Real Madrid stealing Lorenz Zuniga.
Yeah, but that's a bit different. I wouldn't keep in the same list Dean Huijsen, Brahim Diaz, Brian Zaragoza, and Lorenz Zuniga. I think the two kind of
But the ball he took from the sky.
All he took from the sky in Linares will live long in memory.
The touch of God. It was the touch of God.
Yeah, it was the lifter thing. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Then we've talked about our transfer window and what Lorena said today. Sorry, the touch of God. Malaga had a touch of God on Saturday by winning 3-0. So let's go and talk about what happened. Not Saturday, sorry, what happened on Sunday. Okay, let's get into Malaga 3, Atletico Baleares 0. First of all, Chris, I don't think, you didn't join us after the game. There was quite a lot of discussion after the game of...
About me?
No. Well, we probably did talk about you as well. There was probably a lot of discussion about, after we'd had a few beers, these 12 o'clock kickoffs are quite fun, actually, but... we grew to quite like it as the day went on, but I don't think I could do it every Sunday. It was a little.
I said it in the video I made on YouTube. Our weekly. It's not as interesting as the videos Sabatel makes because he is on the pitch and I'm in the stands. But I'm very close.
I send you some videos from Granada.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's different, but I said it. I 12 o'clock kickoff, to be honest.
Well, we've got a lot of them to get used to. Yeah, we had a fun afternoon anyway, because obviously we had Nick and Luke over from the Geary cast. We finally met Matt Rains, who's been on the podcast many times, our Las Palmas expert, and he brought some Las Palmas fans with him. And yes, a very good afternoon was had. And yes, there was There was Pacharan. That was the main thing. Let's go into the actual game. One thing I want to mention about pre-match, actually, well, literally in the stadium. I only noticed this today, and it's really, really annoyed me. I only noticed today that when the team walk out with the mascots are all wearing last season's shirt, and it looks bad, I think. Give them this season's shirt. So you got the little kids with last season's shirt. And it's annoyed me for some reason.
Really? The children of La Rosaleda.
Yeah, like the kids that come out with the players. Yeah, they were all wearing last season's shirt when obviously.
I didn't notice. I remember that at some point those kids that are
mascots, we call them.
Yeah, mascots. They were there because they celebrate their birthday with La Rosaleda tour. I think that was at least that was 6 years ago. I think it's the same policy, but also the children that are not mascots, but on the photograph on the team photo, I think they are with the actual jersey. But it's a bit strange. Yeah.
Do you guys think I can be a mascot on my birthday?
Let's do it.
Well, I were not a mascot, but I was in the team photo over 2008, 2009 in my first match in La Rosaleda, And yeah, that was I was with Goitia, the goalkeeper from the time, and I was like, well, you know, you have 5 years and you are entering from La Rosaleda. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And there you go. I bet then you thought to yourself, one day I'm going to be working on this pitch. And...
Yeah, but for that time I was expecting to be the football player, not the not the journalist. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the next best thing. Let's talk about some of the footballers then. We always talk about the starting 11 to begin with. I think at the bar before the game, we were a little bit surprised at one or two things. I think we were most surprised at Ferreiro starting, even though I think I said I enjoyed his performance against Granada. I did not expect him to start so soon. We had Genaro coming back in as well. Chris, what was your thoughts on the starting 11 before we perhaps talk about their performances?
Made pretty much sense to me.
Okay.
Genaro is logical because I think, although we criticize him a lot, he is a very important player for Malaga on the pitch because he takes away so much danger. I think his only problem is that offensively, he brings too little. Although he scores goals.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But like starting up an attack, I think that's where he's missing a bit. He doesn't have the Musa dribble.
Yeah, but you know, every time the Genaro chats comes away, I like to mention the stat that without Genaro playing the match, Malaga hasn't won any game. So
yes,
the only the only 4 games that the only 4 games that Malaga missed, 2 draws and 2 losses, and with Genaro, 12 wins with the last one, 2 draws and 2 losses, but with 12 wins. So I think it's an important player, and on Sunday he showed us why. He's not obviously like Manu Molina with the sensational touch with the ball, but he's I think developing that last pass. But I think he's a key player in the midfielder, and I think Peter knows it as well.
What he can do defensively is the thing Manu Molina can't.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's why they're good together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a perfect combination. Although, if you would ask me, a fit Ramon would play for Manu Molina.
Yeah, but Ramon, I'd love to see Ramon, but you know that the Ramon issue is a bit harder. But I'd like to talk also about Manu Molina. He's in a natural shape. But it's lovely to see Manu Molina. We were talking in an interview 3 weeks ago that he wasn't playing so much and he was like coming from the bench. And in Granada, he played as a starter. He made a good match. But I think last Sunday at Rosaleda against Baleares, he was one of the best, with Roberto with the 2 goals and with Ferreiro, that made a sensational Rosaleda debut.
Well, I did say I'm sure Nick is going to be devastated he's not on the podcast this week, because he's been a big fan of Manu Molina throughout this season, and but
he had a hard start. The first whole season when he got on the pitch, when he got some minutes, it wasn't so good. But I think over the last 4 weeks, he has been doing very well, and he's one of the better players.
He's like a game changer, and Malaga needed that because Juanpe is injured. Ethan Merino, I love Ethan Merino as the player that he's. We're discovering him, but I think Manu Molina is a special talent for the midfield of Malaga that has so many names, you know, like Juanpe, La Rubia. Yeah, but I think Manu Molina is, as I said, a game changer, and he has the ability to shift the energy when Malaga is blocked, and he knows to open the field, and finding also Gabilondo and Ferreiro last Sunday. That was the key of the match.
Yeah, that's because I was going to say I was sitting next to Nick during this game, and we were both. Well, he was more going, look at him, and I was like, actually,
you weren't saying that from Kevin, no, Matt. This was.
We'll come to him later. We'll talk. We'll discuss. But yeah, basically, I just thought I wanted to get in there. some Manu Molina love as well. Like you just said, Sabatel, like he's playing it out wide all the time. And actually, Chris, you know, I totally agree. Like Ramon's, I love Ramon, but like Manu Molina did look like a Ramon clone here. Obviously, a little bit older, but he was doing all the stuff Ramon does.
Let's be honest, he has shown things that I didn't see from Sangali the whole season.
I'd say he's a different
Sangali
player.
has been injured a lot of time.
Yeah, and Sangali was like giving some flashes about what the player that he can be. He was making good matches, but not giving the complete sense. And I think that Manu Molina gave it on Sunday, and Sangali has to give the next step. I think to be an obvious starter.
Yeah, I think the difference with Sangali is that he's more of a like action player. He sort of runs around a bit more and runs back and forwards. I think
we have a lot of players who run.
I think
around a lot.
I think Manu Molina is more of a like slowly works his way up the pitch, and he seemed to be in the right places all the time. He's more of a dare I say a sort of Pirlo player.
More than Pirlo, he saving the great distance to Toni Kroos. You know, like the calm, the charm with the ball. But also, if he has to drive a 40-meter pass, he's going to do it. So I think it's a good sim.
Who was better, Pirlo or Jari Liedmanen?
Very different.
Yeah, very different, but also very.
Have I said on this podcast before that I remember going to watch Wales play Finland in Cardiff, and Jari Littmanen was, I think he was 41, and he stood in the centre circle, didn't run once, and he was absolutely incredible. We couldn't get him. So,
but he did run when he was younger, and he scored many goals when he was younger.
Yeah.
That remembers me and a bit less known player, Alexander Mostovoy, that played for Steelt and the Russian Tsar. He was like also that, and I think that Liedmanen and Pirlo, being two players that don't run over the needed, I think they are lovely. And we're in the same conversation with Manu Molina, Pirlo, Liedmanen, and Mostovoy, but it's
says a lot about Manu Molina.
Yeah, it's the vibe.
Players like Liedmanen and Pirlo understand the match like nobody does. They can read a game. They already know what the other player is going to, where he's going to walk, what he's going to do. They're so smart.
Isn't
they're Manu Molina.
Isn't Molina like a windmill?
That's a Molino.
Molino. I knew I thought
it's Molino.
I was going to make a comparison of getting things moving, but never mind. That joke's gone. Anyway, we talked about some great sort of creative midfielders there. Let's get on to some goals, though. Roberto is becoming, he's becoming an absolute hero amongst the fans. 2 good goals for him again. The first goal coming in the 17th minute. Good finish. A great ball from our new signing, Chris.
Yes, a great ball. Where it should be. What can I say about the goal?
Well, I think
you wanted to see the whole season, basically.
Yeah, and I think that is half the goal deserves obviously Roberto, but I think that Gabilondo letting the ball pass and Ferreiro with the chirurgical center, that was nice. So and in the second goal, Manu Molina with the center and Roberto with the smash. I think that being 2 goals a bit different between them, it's like the same striker soul that Roberto has. That it's going to be a goal every ball that he touches there.
And important to mention is in both goals there was a lot of pace in the attack.
Yep,
so it was all very quick, and that's what I have been missing for the whole season so far was pace, was
the quick combination.
Quick combinations, and that's not what we had till last Sunday. Basically, for me, I'm going to say it already. For me, it was the best first half of the season.
Yeah, and I think that with Ferreiro, we gain an atypical winger, and I'm going to explain that because when we think about a winger, we think in a fast man that dribbles and centers. Ferreiro, at this point of his career, that he's I think 35, he's not like the fastest winger in Primera Federación, but he's very very agile. He's got the ability to hide the ball and find the exact pass in three less seconds than the rest of the wingers. And I think that if he shows his quality and if he can apply to the Malaga game, it's a very very important issue to Malaga's offensive.
Yeah, he's more our Yari Litmanen, if anyone. A bit older,
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah, that could be, yeah.
And just quickly, I only watched the highlights back about 2 hours ago, so I hadn't seen the goals replayed. I didn't realize how good a header Roberto's goal was. He jumped he almost jumped too high for the ball, and because I thought it was quite a close range header, but it's a excellent corner and yeah, brilliant header, and he's just having. What's it now? It's 10 goals this season, I think.
Yeah, 10 goals. He's the third maximum goal scorer in both groups. So I think in the second group he's the second, behind Jesus de Miguel, that is playing at Castellón of Munich. You know, it's the unstoppable team. But and there's a point to review that Malaga wasn't scoring from corners. So we scored at Murcia with the kick from Genaro. But it's not the strongest point of Malaga that finishes the plays, but not in goal. So I think Roberto finds some spaces, like Chris said, and some sort of finishing that no one can in the team.
Yeah, and he works hard, and that's what the people love to see, isn't it? When you see a player giving 150%, that's why probably people like Roberto more than a Dioni, because he's working hard for every ball. He wants to have every ball.
Yeah, well, and he's always with the hard pressure, but not he's also because he can. So I think not only Dioni but Kevin, La Rubia, those youngsters can be 90 minutes. With the pressure on the center back after the right back, now with the center defensive midfielder, you know, he's in every part of the offensive range, and I think I think that in this league there can be two players over Roberto that can be at that point of intensity in the 90 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's the only one where, like, obviously everybody is doing the sort of bowing down gesture to him.
Yeah.
I think coming back to Ferreiro, he is he showed last Sunday what Kevin is missing the whole season.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yep.
So what was he showing? That was going to be one of my next questions, because I thought he was fantastic again.
Yeah,
well, I thought he was really good off the bench against Granada, but you know,
I'm, as you know, I'm not the biggest Kevin fan, but all I see from Kevin the whole season are useless dribbles, losing the ball a lot with his dribbles, and never be having a decisive pass.
Yeah,
almost never. And now that we have a player like Ferreiro who doesn't have those things and has those passes and know how to play and play smart, he is showing what Kevin is missing.
Well, I agree. I don't think a bit like Malaga in general, I would agree, since the winter break, Kevin, you know, he's been injured a little bit, but I don't think he's been great. I think this weekend was definitely his worst performance. Yeah. Weirdly, I still think he works quite well with Dani Sanchez in particular, because obviously Dani Sanchez, I thought, had a really good game, and sometimes that was because he was sort of running where Kevin was not running, because Kevin was sort of just go on, you run past me instead. But yeah, he is a little bit off. There's something.
His dribbles never
But,
lead to
Matt,
something.
now that you mentioned Danny Sanchez, it's a thing to comment that last Sunday Danny Sanchez ran past the Kevin movement on left wing, and
Yeah.
Kevin didn't give him back the ball, and
Yeah,
Danny Sanchez was I think it was 2 or 3 times, and Danny Sanchez was like, man, I'm running all the wing, pass me the ball, finish the play, but Kevin was as Chris said, with useless dribblings and not very useful
And
to
that
the
and that's
team.
what he does the whole season.
Yeah, and
I
that's
disagree.
what Ferreira did. Like it's like the very opposite facet of games.
Yeah, he seems to just, I don't know. He doesn't look very confident at the moment. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
maybe.
happening.
And I think when his dribbles do work out, it looks nice. When Kevin has a good dribble, it looks very nice, but it never leads to something big.
Yeah, but maybe Kevin's not a starter from this Malaga. You know, La Rubia came from the bench. I think in the 60 or 75. No, in the 60 minute, and he made a good actually. I mean, he dribbled a bit. He scored. Not was his own goal. It was an own goal from a volley, but he drove the center to the third goal. He was finding some spaces that when you come from the bench, it's easier to find with that stamina that you don't have as a starter. So I think that would be a good role from Kevin, but I don't think if Aviles, that is the winger that came in winter, is good enough to be the starter in Malaga, as at least because it's not the profile that I like for a Malaga winger. But I think Kevin should be in the bench from for next Sunday, and let's see if from the bench he can make a good play.
I
My
think.
question is,
Go on.
like, we all have seen Kevin's career so far.
Yeah.
We know that he has talent. You can't deny that he has talent. I think he doesn't really know how to read a game. And I think he has come to an age where he's no longer a talent.
Maybe, but you know, there's with Kevin a point, because last year David Larrubia, Dani Lorenzo, Roberto, and Kevin went on loan. Roberto to Barça Athletic, Larrubia and Lorenzo to Mérida, and Kevin to Gil Vicente in Portugal, like to be the leader of a team. And Kevin was the one that didn't. I don't know how to say. Didn't
Have an impact.
He didn't improve himself like did La Rubia and Lorenzo in Mérida, like did Roberto in Barça Athletic. You know, Roberto went to Barcelona being a striker that has a lot of stamina, but he didn't. He wasn't a goal scorer, and now he's absolute an animal. La Rubia and Lorenzo, mostly Lorenzo, went there like, well, they are players that have to be a lot developed, and he did, and they did. Sorry, but Kevin, it's like in a non improving stage. That is, it's a bit difficult to exit, I think.
Yeah, well, I think I agree. By the way, I think I would not have any issues with him being on the bench in the next game. My only worry there is when he hasn't played through injury and things like that. I've not really been impressed with Juan Hernandez.
Yeah.
And for some reason, and I do accept some of the points you guys are making, but I just think we look better with Kevin on that left side. And
I see him a lot, and he, in my opinion, he loses so many times the ball in ridiculous ways.
I disagree with this. That's one thing I definitely disagree. My issue with Kevin is where he gets down the line and you can see the grass ahead of him, and you go, right, go on, lad. And then he turns around and sort of passes it backwards. And I'm a bit like, that's where I think he's lost his confidence a bit. Because I actually think he keeps the ball ticking over, and I don't think he gives it away that much. it's the other side. I want him to be a bit more adventurous. That's why I like him. It's because he's fun. Oh, he was fun to watch.
Yeah, and yeah, he's fun to watch, and I have to say that Kevin is maybe the first or the most idolized player in Malaga. You know, like every child wants to be Kevin. I don't know,
every grown-up Welshman.
Yeah, no, but not only grown man, Welshman as well. If for example, I take a cab, the driver, if we talk about Malaga, the driver talks to me about Kevin.
Yeah,
and not about Roberto. And Kevin, it's like the figure that should be the leader of the Malaga, not the leader, but one of the faces of this Malaga. And I think that in game, that what you have to live for, it's like he's not being useful to Malaga's team, and that's the most important point.
I like him defensively, though.
Yeah, but Chris, there's a thing to say, because I liked him very much in defensive role, but on Sunday he was also the worst in the defensive play. And I it's not me that he's saying that. It's not Sabatel. It's Pellicer who said Kevin he's not going to admit a player that doesn't run. So if you want to play in Malaga, you are wearing this jersey. You can be walking around the pitch, because there is Juan Hernandez. I don't love Juan Hernandez, but I think that there is Juan Hernandez, there is Avilés, there is lots of players that are in the bench waiting for their opportunity, and they can make a really effort that Kevin didn't make on Sunday.
Okay, let's just go through some of the other sort of main points of the game. I think we've touched on most of them, so I don't think we need to analyze the own goal. David Larrubia just hitting it towards goal, and bad luck from the defender. It was a really strange header towards his own goal, but it happened. So that made it 3-0. Just quickly, we've talked about him a little bit already. It was the debut of Avilés. I don't know. Did you guys notice anything from him so far? I'll be honest with you, he didn't have much time to show anything. I'm not.
Yeah, I know a bit from Avilés, and I wish I knew less. You know, Avilés it's like not like Kevin at 100%, but it's a bit similar to Kevin, because he's a very talented player, a left winger that can dribble on the left and the right. He can finish, as you Matt saw against Osasuna with that wonderful goal.
What a goal!
But he has to want it, and I think that the first point is that he's not mentally focused on the player that he has to be. Not only in Malaga, we have to remember that Avilés is coming here to Malaga because he was on loan on Amorebieta this first half of the season, and Amorebieta rejected it back. So he's not helping the team. He's not offering Amorebieta something to keep on, and he's coming to Malaga like let's see if we can develop the player that it's supposed to be, but it never was. So I think Avilés, it's it can be a good option, but I don't buy it very much to learn.
I think, and maybe I'm wrong, I think players like Avilés and Kevin, in my opinion, it's one of their last chances in professional football to be a good player, because they're becoming Jack Harper. Jack Harper. Who else do we have?
I don't know. You're just trying to attack
Jack Harper, Antonin.
Yeah, but Chris, I'm not going to say that those players don't deserve faith, because here at Malaga came Tete Morente that was at Lugo with zero chances. Like he was like a player to give him the trash minutes. But he came here to Malaga. He became a leader, and now he's still in the not even the first division. He's at the second division, but last year he played there because in Malaga he found again
Yeah,
the
I
way that he
agree,
was.
but that's what I'm saying. Like Tete Morete came
Yeah,
and he converted himself, and that was in Segunda División.
no,
But now for players like Aviles,
yeah,
who have been on loan for 2 seasons or 1.5 season, and now is in Primera RFF, and you don't show it there. And for Kevin, who had 2 seasons ago, well, we all know what happened with Kevin. We don't have to go into that situation, but he went to Gil Vicente. He didn't show it there. Now also in Primera RFF, I think he's not doing what he should do, in my opinion.
no, but
I think,
Chris,
I still think he's had a good season overall. I think he's not had a good past month or two, but I find it hard to say he's been bad this season personally.
it's like it's not a wonderful season. It's not a very bad season. I think it could be in the middle. But with what I said of the Morente, I'm not at that point of the conversation, because what I was going to say is Malaga can be signing players that, let's see if the music sounds. Let's see if this player gives it. No, you have to see real players that are going. You know that his minimum is going to help Malaga, and the minimum of Avilés, it's what Amorebieta saw. It's what it was Leganés saw. It's not very helpful for Malaga. Last year in Lugo, he didn't. He wasn't an important player to Lugo, and Lugo was relegated as well. So I don't think that Malaga has to be signing players to. Let's see if this player finds himself here in Malaga.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So I think we can maybe perhaps sum up the game if you want in the last bit. We'll do our Chumbo and Biznagas. Actually, just quickly, really quickly, before we get into that, Chris, you said you think this was the best first half of the season. Did you enjoy this Malaga performance overall? Because again, I think we talked about it. We saw some people on social media being a bit depressed about this, and when I was like,
I really loved the first half, but the second half, I'm going to be honest, I don't know what Pellicer is doing with his substitutions every time.
I just think
it seems to me like he's failing week after week.
But I think we just had the game won and just sort of slowed it down a bit, which again,
no, like there's a difference between Sunday changes, Sunday substitution, and the others, and it's that Pellicer, and after he confessed that he was looking for the group gesture, from like to giving Roberto a break, giving Kevin a bit of confidence that he after he didn't help did as well. He didn't respond. And giving Diony more minutes than what he deserved, because he wasn't making a great match, but he was trying to let helping Diony to find the goal, helping Roberto to have a break, and not thinking about the match. I was a bit worried because we were 2-0, but an Atletico Baleares goal was difficult in the match more than what we wanted, but we have to say also, to be honest, Atletico Baleares is maybe the worst team that has been in La Rosaleda for
Real Murcia is.
No, but we played there. So I think I'm saying in Rosaleda, because Malaga in away days is playing much better than here. So in La Rosaleda, Recreativo Granada and Athletic Baleares, they are the worst, with a huge difference. And I think that's the reason, because Pellicer knew that he could help on the group gesture, and giving Kevin a bit of confidence when he didn't deserve it, giving Diony more minutes than what he deserved, and in my opinion, the only thing that he missed was giving Gabilondo a break as well. Gabilondo is playing 90 minutes after 90 minutes, and you have Puga. That it was a nice day for the debut.
Yes. I think because I saw somebody getting the ball from the line, that they almost scored, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think they might have scored. Actually, it looked like it was over the line to
It was.
me.
I was watching and watching because I have the I had the same doubt, but it's like the ball doesn't enter in the goal, but the net is like waving so much, and that's the effect that it makes us think that it was a goal. But I have to say that I think it's not a goal.
Yeah, we should have perhaps mentioned earlier as well. It was the only big shame for me was that Roberto didn't get that hat trick when he hit the bar first off. But
he has that feeling as well. So he wanted to score the third, and if he had scored a hat trick, he would want to score the poker. So he's not satisfied with the brace. He wants every time more and more, and I think that's the nicest thing that he has. It's the that he's always hungry. Yeah,
the will.
Let's go into Chumbo and Biznaga then. Judging from our conversation, I think you've decided on your Chumbo. I'll say mine. Mine is Kevin too. I think I'd agree. I said after the game the very same. So, Chris, are you going to surprise me and say someone different?
No, it's Kevin.
I thought so. I don't think we need to explain why. Sabatel, what about you?
There's no mystery this week. And not only here in Grivicas, it's like in Sports Direct, we all said the same Chumbo because it was in general lines a good match. You know, someone said that Galilea and Monte wasn't in their finest shape, but I think that Kevin was the worst of the match by a huge difference.
Yeah, I think I'd go with that too. Okay, this is a bit more difficult, Biznaga, because when we were talking after the game, I think there were sort of 3 candidates that came up, and everybody seemed to have a different one. So I'll go first again. I think I know the 3 players. Well, actually, there might be a 4th player as well. So Ferreiro, I think, was mentioned a lot. Obviously, Roberto got the 2 goals. An honourable mention for me for Danny Sanchez, who I thought was really good. But the person I enjoyed watching the most was Manu Melilla. I thought he was excellent. And especially considering he's had a tough week off the pitch as well. And I just thought he was perfect. I think it was one of the best midfield performances anyone's had in our team this season. So he's definitely my Biznaga. So Chris, do you have anyone different?
I have the same one. It's insane that you are playing 1 week, you're on the pitch, and while you're on the pitch, your mother passes away. And the next week you pull off a match like this that deserves a lot of respect. And the way he played was just phenomenal.
Yeah, he was.
And he's in the best moment of the season. I had him after the match because as I said, we had an interview and we said, hey, Manu, let's see if you are a starter from now on. And after that interview in PTV, he was, and he not only he was a starter, he was being the most important man in team's game. And I think that we have to value the Manu Marinas match, but I'm going to be a bit different. And if you score a brace that break is the match, I think Roberto is the Biznaga, with a special mention to David Ferreiro that made a sensational match.
Yeah, I definitely those 3 were definitely the standouts for me. So there you go. There's 2 wins in a row after a pretty ropey start to 2024. So let's go into talk about our next game, and hopefully we can get 3 wins in a row. So this weekend, we are off to our 2nd Spanish enclave on North Africa of the season. We've completed the set. Sabatel, I'm guessing you're going over to the game?
I'm not going over to the game because, I know. It's, I think, the third game that I'm missing because this Sunday, it's like the first celebration of the Copa del Rey Malaga, the basketball Copa del Rey, the ACB. So I have to be here as well, and I'm not going to travel to Melilla. If it would be by car, I would go for sure. But you know, I looked at the prices a bit late, and it was a bit harsh to to accomplish it.
Yeah, I'm not going either because I need to be in work Monday, and
Yeah.
there's like a boat that would get me to Malaga about 7 o'clock in the morning. I thought, no, I can't do that. So I'm missing out.
Always says he's not going, and then 2 days later he's buying himself a ticket and getting himself a boat trip.
Yeah, I did look at flights as well, but I think I think the flight that got back to Malaga in the night is sold out, and yeah, it's not happening.
And the thing is that there are lots of planes, I think, between Malaga and Melilla, but the cheapest option is to stay there a night and come back on Monday. So you can't come back on Monday. I as well can do it. So if you done that, I think it goes to 400 euros or 500 euros, and that's a bit harsh. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, if we're not going to the game, is there anything our listeners could do Sunday to follow the game?
I don't know.
I don't know. I was hoping you would say yes.
I really don't know because I have my my mother-in-law over, but I hope Nick, Alex, and if Alex doesn't have to go to a Real Madrid football match, volleyball match, fishing match, or curling, or Real Madrid darts, or Real Madrid hockey, or Real Madrid badminton, then I think there could be a live stream.
Yeah, I think I might be able to do the live stream, which obviously I don't get to do very often. I'm just the one that turns up at halftime, shouting into the camera, a bit drunk. But yeah, I think I.
You know why we don't get accreditation? I think
it's me
because you're always drunk.
That's a point. Yeah, that's a point. That makes a point. Yeah.
You're
drinking water.
Throwing my options away to stand next to Sabatel and Bet Charlie.
Well, okay. Apologies.
No, I'm joking.
We're the rock and roll podcast.
Yeah, we're the rock and roll podcast.
But yeah, I'm a bit gutted because, like, obviously, I think I said when we went to Ceuta, that was just really cool to go over to. You know, it's a bit different going to the North African coast. So I did want to go, but it's not happening, but never mind. Chris, but this is a really good opportunity for Malaga to put a little run of wins together, or because obviously the week after we've got quite a tough game with Recreativo coming to town. So is this a good opportunity?
It's an important match to get that winning flow back. And I also think it's important to win and hope to get a gap with Cordoba and those teams which are being very close to you on the table.
Yeah, and this is this is a lovely chance to get 3 games in a row. So it's like the two of the worst team in this division that are Recreativo Granada and Athletic Baleares. You've made it, and now Melilla is not also a wonderful team. So it's like the perfect opportunity. You have to remember that on the first leg, Malaga won several games in a row because after the Atletico de Madrid late winner, we beat Recreativo Granada, Atletico Baleares as well, Linares, some teams that are not in the high positions. So I think that Malaga has to be very smart this Sunday and like to accomplish the 3rd game in a row just to add some points that are very necessary to give a space with Recreativo and Cordoba.
Yeah, because I think we said in the first half of the season that our November was really, really difficult. And that's going to be the same this half in March, where we've got quite a lot of tough games ahead. So yeah, I think we do need to get our wins in this sort of period of easier teams.
And not only in March, because as you said, next Sunday, not this Sunday, but Sunday from next week, we are facing Recreativo de Huelva, that is a team from our league, to say it like that. And after that, we're going to Alcoyano, that is a team that defeated us in La Rosaleda. So we have to be very focused on these 3 games in a row, and also not only for the points that are the main factor, it's like to arrive to Recreativo de Huelva's match with the best of the mood, in good shape and physically, not only physically but mentally strong, just to face Recreativo in La Rosaleda.
Yeah, we should say as well, as Sabatel's touched on there, Melilla are 19th in the league now, so they're 1 place off bottom. They've only won 4 games all season. I noticed, I think at least 3 of those games were against like teams at the bottom as well. Weirdly, they beat Ceuta 2 weeks ago, I noticed, which is the enclave derby, as I've seen some people call it in other parts of the press. So they have beaten a team which beat us very recently, so we can't. We've got to.
Do you guys think that you could still like catch Ibiza on the table?
No.
To be honest, I don't think so. So because well, right now we talk about Ibiza because Castellón is like a step higher, but they are with the same points. So Ibiza is also making a spectacular season. This week came out another stat that said that in the history of Primera Federación, Malaga was the 5th team with the best point per match.
Okay.
But the first and the second in history was Castellón and Ibiza. So Malaga is making a good season. We have to say that, but Malaga has been in the wrong moment, in the wrong time, because Castellón and Ibiza are killing it.
Yeah, because and it's going to sound very ugly what I'm going to say, but when I look at Malaga, I don't think it looks that good.
I do. I think 4 losses all season. If you'd offered me that,
if you would say that to me,
crazy, I would have said.
Yeah, wow. I would say that. But when I look at the matches and how the team plays, it's not convincing me.
Yeah, but
there's a point. Yeah, there's a point, and I far from making a comparison with Castellón and Ibiza that are teams that also play a bit better from Malaga. It's like Malaga is not giving the feeling that is a team from the top of the table, and that we can get that conclusion when we see Malaga at La Rosaleda. So the first leg, Malaga made an away matches in a very good point per match. I think that a draw in Ibiza, losing in Castellón. That match we deserved the draw, and we made a really great first leg, but it was in La Rosaleda when the draws against Córdoba and Castilla, the loss against Alcoyano. That was the weak point of Malaga, and I think that was the reason that we are 11 points away from the first one.
But also, when I see us play, it feels like we're lucky if you're winning. When I wouldn't know like the table, and if I didn't know anything about Malaga, and you would have said me after watching a Malaga match that this team only lost 4 matches this season, I wouldn't believe you.
But equally, I'd sort of agree if that was over, I don't know, 3 or 4 games, but I don't think you can call it luck after what's this?
No, I'm not saying it's lucky.
No, I know what you're trying to say, and I agree.
But Chris, but I think that's related more than what you're saying. It's from the game style of Malaga. Malaga is not a team that Malaga is not a side that is going to control the game like Castellón. It's going to be focused on the possession and create lots of chances. Malaga is going to try to kill it in their 4 or 5 chances in the match and like be very solid in defense. So when Malaga
doesn't also do that, dangerous though.
Yeah, but when Malaga doesn't accomplish that, it happens like against Intercity or against some teams that the initial plan doesn't work out and has to improvise during the match, and that's the phase that we see that Malaga wouldn't be a top league side.
Yeah, I agree, and also I've got a lot. I think I've said on the podcast before that I've got a lot of respect for this team. that they are going to make mistakes and be, overwhelmed by better teams, but they don't lose very often, and they're so young. Like this team all season, so young. I've got a lot of respect for them, and I can sort of,
me too.
I can accept this team making mistakes and dropping points, because I think they care and they're trying. Whereas like last season, where we had like a load of, I knew, the mercenaries sort of chant and things like that, I had a lot less respect for. And obviously
but Matt, there's a point, and we have to be honest. If at the end of the day, this team doesn't not only get promoted but get to the playoffs in a good shape, and we can say, talking about players, that they are very young, but about the squad building from Lorenzo Arroz, we have to say that it may be a too young squad. So maybe you have to build a bit not older but most experienced squad, with players like Diony, like Genaro, that is young but he's also experienced, and not giving so many chances to Lorenzo Úñiga, to Bilal, to some players that are good prospects, but they are not a reality nowadays.
The thing that surprises me most is the atmosphere in the stadium and how the fans are getting behind the club. When you look and everything, every bad thing that happened last season is off the table, because last season you had the Cortijo, and everything has vanished from the club in summer.
Yeah, but Malaga's how to say Malaga supporter are a bit stuck with the not with the owner. We know that with the owner we are all a bit stuck from Altani, but with Manolo Gaspar, Quique Pérez arrived in a moment that it wasn't his fault, but he was in the photo of the relegation and on the bad gesture. But I think that it's a bit excessive, the criticism of the Malaga supporters, because now when something doesn't goes as expected, we say Cortijo, we say it's because Malaga doesn't work well, or if the community manager of Malaga makes a mistake, we say that he doesn't deserve that job's place. So I think we have to be a bit.
I totally agree with you, because people are doing their best and they're not the people on the pitch, because you can do your work good as a marketing manager.
But also I'm not talking about doing your best, because you may be doing your best, but if you're not qualified to the job, you have to leave. But I think Malaga's people, in some points, not in all clubs' points, I think they are qualified for the job. And Malaga supporters, when something doesn't go as expected, try to over criticize the situation.
Well, you are a lot in La Rosaleda. I have a lot of contact with people working in La Rosaleda. I don't see any strange things going on. Of course, there are some things that could be improved, but it's not like a lack of improvement. And I have deep respect for everybody working there, because you have to imagine that, for example, the head of press, he's starting in the morning, and if you and me would write him now a message from, hey, what's this, or he would answer.
I don't think it's and also with the relegation, Malaga's working a bit closer to media and to people that want to help Malaga. Not only media, we obviously want the best for Malaga, but also local business and some of the factors that have to help Malaga. I think they are working well with them. And as I said, it's a bit over criticized, but I think that in this moment of the season, Malaga supporters are also conscious that we have to be on the same direction, and like go on the road that we are expecting.
Yeah. So just to perhaps finish this section and sort of finish off the podcast, ahead of this game is obviously we've really, stuck the knife into poor old Kevin tonight. Is there anyone or any changes you'd like to see for the game this coming weekend? Because obviously we've just won 3-0. Is there anyone you think, I don't know, if you're going to drop Kevin, I guess you're dropping him for Juan Hernandez. Is there anyone else you'd like to see come in, though?
Well, the Kevin thing, it's if on Sunday Pellicer sends him to the bench at halftime, you can say, well, he's going to react. He's going to be like angry and trying to show why he didn't have to go to the bench. But after the halftime, Pellicer gives him a second chance, and he didn't work as well. So I think Kevin deserves to go on the bench. I don't think it's Juan Hernandez the chance. I would put more confidence on Dani Lorenzo, because he's not a left winger, but when he's playing on that position, he's coming to the central field and leaving Dani Sanchez or Victor Garcia, whoever he plays, are working well. The whole wing, just to build over there. So I think Dani Lorenzo would be one of the
your substitute.
The new one.
Yeah. I think I'd agree with that as well. I think out in Ceuta, I think Dani Lorenzo came off the bench in that game and played out on the left, and obviously he scored. And although Malaga played pretty bad that game, I thought he was probably one of our best players with Dione. But also, I think Dani Lorenzo's been one of our best players since the winter break. I think he's been really good.
Do you feel like we have seen the real Lorenzo yet?
I think he's starting to show himself a bit more. I know we spoke.
He's still not the player from Melilla last season. I think he still can do it. He's a good player. He plays very well, but I still think he can do better.
I think, Chris, that from these players that came from Atlético Malagueño, La Rubia, Kevin, even Roberto, I think Dani Lorenzo is the number one prospect. He's and I think that, and I confirm in my feeling, when in Ceuta, after a not very outstanding first half, he works from the left, from a position that is not he's used to, and he's the best, and he changes the match, and he's driving the team where he has to go. So I think he's going to make a regular season from the flashes that he's giving right now. And in my opinion, it's as I said, the most talented player maybe in the I don't know in the squad, but in his position.
Yeah.
Who do you think is better from this generation, Haitham or Dani Lorenzo?
It's a very tricky, because Haitham, it's a different player. Haitham is a top talented player, but have we seen 5 matches in a row from Haitham?
Exactly. That would be my point.
Yeah.
Just quickly on Dani Lorenzo, a kid in school said to me today, "Sir, do you know Dani Lorenzo?" And I said, "Well, of course I know who he is." And he said, "He goes to my gym." And I said, "All right."
Yeah.
He said, "He is very humble, really, really humble." I thought, oh, well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah,
I think everybody in this team is.
We had an interview with him a month ago or something like that, and he also he's one of the best speakers in the squad. So he can explain very well what he's developing is over this season, and I think that that's one of the keys of the player that he is. But also he was playing in the first half of the season in a position that can be his best. So I was playing. He's a very talented player nearby the area, nearby the box. So he has to be right behind the striker, helping Roberto, approaching the spaces that Roberto leaves. and I think it's the key position to find the real Daniel Lorenzo.
Yes, that seems a good place to start wrapping things up. Before we thank our special guest, Chris, I realized about 5 minutes ago that this is the first time something has happened on this podcast. Can you work it out? It's to do with who's on it and the name of the podcast. No?
You're the only Geary.
I'm the only Geary. I'm outnumbered. It's the first time.
We did a lot of episodes together.
Yeah. So it's the first time there's been fewer Gearys on here.
Yeah, but Chris is like a Geary. No.
Yeah,
Sabatel is like a Geary.
Yeah, I'm not exactly what a Geary is, but I don't know. If Chris hadn't the H on his name, he would be from Malaga, but that H from right behind the sea.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Someone does a couple of people have asked me in the past. So is Chris Dutch or Spanish? And I say I don't know what he is. Just
no. You have to ask Chris. What side were you supporting on the 2010 final in the World Cup? So that's the answer. Yeah,
Okay, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
because it had to do with the place I was. A bit. I had no, because this is very important.
Okay.
I went to Amsterdam to the Leidseplein to watch the final. I had to put an orange shirt on because the Dutch government or the police sent out the English message: Spanish people, please stay away from the Leidseplein.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I had to wear an orange shirt on. I had doubts the whole match who I wanted to win because I was in Amsterdam and I thought I want the party.
No, but Chris,
I wanted, and I also wanted Spain to win. So, and here it comes. 2 minutes before the match started, my heart spoke.
Yeah.
Yes, I took off my shirt, and I said to my wife, I said, I'm supporting Spain.
That's nice.
Well,
nice.
The fact, Chris, that you used the term "my heart spoke," that's a very Spanish thing to say. So that's
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But Chris,
when it comes to the language, there are many things I don't understand. I was at the bank today, for example, and half the woman said to me at the bank, I didn't understand. So then I thought, yeah, I'm also a very much of a Geary. I had to go to the hospital today. I didn't know which hospital to go or where to go to. So
you're a chameleon, Chris. You fit into whatever you need to.
Yeah.
So I think we have discussed getting Sabatel on the podcast a while back now, but he's come on.
Yeah, but I think Sabatel should come more often on the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
If he has time.
So I just want to start by saying thank you for coming on in the first place, but thank you for coming on when we were short of numbers and needed a bit of help. So
okay.
But I asked him Sunday already.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you anyway.
No, but thank you. I'm very happy to be here. In fact, some people talk me about Geary cast, and there are some Gearys in your radio that speak about Malaga. Yeah, that's a very beautiful thing. What you do, being on the awards years and years by, and I think that you're making a great job. So it's a honor to be for me to be here.
Yeah, I usually
Malaga gave us accreditation now. If someone else says it, no.
If you want, I give you my accreditation, and you go to the on pitch, no?
Yeah,
no.
And then it's just me with my arm around Payas saying, just going, "What's going on?" Do you want to go for a?
No, you can go to the press conferences.
Yeah, of course. Okay. No, but let's hope that this Sunday we have more Patreon, no?
Yes, more Patreon this Sunday. So thank you again, Sabatel. Thank you, Chris Marquez.
Thank you. And I think it's obvious that he's one of the two biggest talents in journalism in Malaga.
There you go. He's proved it tonight.
Don't you want to know who the other one is?
Yeah, me.
Sabatel. Do you want to know who I think the other one is?
I thought that you were going to say it without answering that, but okay, yeah. Who's the?
I will answer it. I think it's Pedro Jimenez.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's nice.
The only problem with him is that he switches jobs too much.
It's like he's the Luis Figo from Malagueño journalism.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Chris, I'll take third place. It's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you are fair to me. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Go and do all those things podcasts tell you to do. Listen, subscribe, retweet, add us on all the socials. And we will see you soon. Adios and vamos Malaga.